Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and welcome to episode 14 now. We're really getting close to the end of the season, and today is going to be the Italian Grand Prix. So we started the episode with an email from Jeff about next year's regulations. So as I read the email, it seems like the regulation changes are going to be on the engines for next season, which is pretty interesting, because in real life it's on the aerodynamic, I believe. I'm not sure which part the front wing is. Yeah, I think it's part of the aerodynamic, the front wing, but engine changes. So we have upgraded the engine quite a lot, and we literally made it go from the worst car to really one of the best now on the grid, the Honda engine. So we finished practice 2 now there in P2, 4 seconds off Esteban Ocon. I don't know what the hell he's running on, but he made a stellar lap. I think that's a glitch though, with Stoffel Van Dorn finishing last. Williams should do well as well in this Grand Prix because of their pace in the top speed. So Pierre Gasly as well doing well. I really want to do well in this race because it's one of my favorites and it's the team's home race, so I'm really expecting big things for this race. But yeah, let's hope we're gonna have a good qualifying session. Don't think we need to change any parts of the car, and yeah, let's now go to the qualifying session.
Qualifying is about to start here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. The teams are about to head out onto the track any minute now. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now and it never gets any easier.
So this is our first lap in Q1. We decided to go on soft tires. Maybe that can get us through without using the faster compound. And it was a pretty good lap, I have to say. It was pretty clean, but the grip was really different compared to the super soft tire, which really hampered my time. As you can see, Bottas as well is on the softs, and he's in P1 currently, but in a Mercedes, so we go 6/10 slower. Still pretty good, quicker than Ericsson, which is a good sign. But as the session went on, as you can see, we kept going down and down and down. We were just behind Gasly, surprisingly, who was on the faster compound. But as you can see, we kept going down and down. Eventually gonna go down to 14th, I believe. And because then I decided to go out once again, as you can see, changing to the super soft tire, and yeah, going for another run because I was really scared, unlike Hamilton in Singapore, who just made it in Q2. But as you can see, we're gonna improve by almost a second. We were going to improve by a second, but we messed up the last part of the corner, and we finished that in P5, which is pretty good in my opinion. Even though Q1 is pretty easy to go through, but I didn't want to risk it, And Gasly there finishes down in 12th, but just under a second in the top 10. That's incredible. And Stoffel Vandoorne and now Alonso in the bottom 2. That is unbelievable, as Lance Stroll goes through to Q2. That's incredible. And Sergio Perez in 3rd. So Mercedes cars doing incredibly well in qualifying. We really did expect that, really. And yeah, but Q2 now, this is our first and I believe only lap, but as you can see, we get really good tow from Ocon, and we finished there in P1. We are provisional pole, but in Q2, so I was really happy with that. Seeing my name pop up there in the purple color, but we eventually start going down, and this was our only lap, so we finished that session in P4, which is great, and Gasly just about makes it through to Q3. So good result there for our team. So both Ferraris, both Mercedes, both Toro Rossos and both Red Bull cars, and I believe all Force India cars as well, made it through. So pretty good. I'm happy with that. And Lewis Hamilton goes first as we cross the line to go 4/10 slower. That was good. I really enjoyed that lap, and it was a really good lap in my opinion, but I decided to go out once again to make one last flying lap, but unfortunately this one wasn't that good. As you can see, just losing the car there into, I don't know the corner name, but yeah, qualifying over now, and we're gonna go through to finish in P4 for Q3. This is unbelievable result. We're in front of Raikkonen, and yeah, really good result, and we're gonna hope we can continue this to the race, and maybe if possible we can get a good start, hold up Bottas, can see right there, and maybe stay in P3 and get a podium in a Toro Rosso. That would be incredible. But let's not have too much high hopes and concentrate now on the race.
Great work out there today. How do you think it went? Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow? Things are really heating up between you and your rival, aren't they? Great! Well, that's everything.
So we get more resource points which we can use to improve the car. I believe the regulation changes are gonna be come in the next race, which should be interesting. So we can start, preparing
Well done. That was a good
our upgrades for next season. And Jeff here with some motivation. No comments, and don't think we have any parts to change. We don't have enough resource points to buy any upgrades, but as you can see here, my ES is pretty worn out, the one I have now, but the first one I used is pretty much almost new, well, compared to the one I have. So I decided to change it up from the currently one I'm using to use that one, and so it should give us an advantage in energy storage. But without further ado, let's go to the Italian Grand Prix.
It's race day here in Italy once again. Monza, home to so many records. The smallest winning margin, for example. Do you remember in 1971, Peter Gethin beat Ronnie Peterson to the line by 1/100th of a second. There were 40 overtakes for the lead alone in 1965, and Kimi Raikkonen clocked a record top speed of 230 miles per hour here, just over a decade ago. So there's a lot to live up to then for all of our drivers today. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about Renault. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, the rookie, Kimi Raikkonen, and Perez, Ocon, Verstappen, Gasly, and Roman Grosjean, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Marcus Ericsson, and Stroll, Sirotkin, Ricciardo, Kevin Magnussen, and Charles Leclerc. Alonso and Stoffel van Dorn completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, this is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today.
So the team have high hopes on me, clearly, and I'm prepared to give them back. Yeah, so the strategy is going to be a normal one stop obviously, and going with a little bit with not too much fuel, because we're not gonna be using it too much, and we're really just gonna use a lot of energy.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
So here we are on the grid, counting up to 5 red lights, and it's light out and away we go. It's a pretty good start compared to Bottas. Well, it's a pretty poor start now, but using the slipstream of Vettel now, pretty good start compared to the others. But maybe going down the inside of Vettel here, who gets a pretty poor start compared to Bottas. Now I think he's gonna lose the position to him, but now he overtakes Bottas, and we're up to P3 for a podium position. Well, this might not last too long because of our pace, but look at that, we're using Vettel's slipstream. This straight line speed setup is working perfectly for us, and we're up to P2 in lap 1. Unbelievable. We've already done it. In just a couple of corners, we've overtaken 2 cars, but they're gonna have a huge advantage on us on the exit of corners and in the corners, really. So maybe we can try and stick it out on the straights and we can gain some time. But Vettel now is gonna get a really good run on us on lap 2, don't forget, and maybe go round or outside as we go purple there. But ooh, almost making contact there, but we at least come out cleanly. and we're still in podium position, but to go into overtake mode, we might get him back here. We have a look, but don't really go for a move. But we're gonna have a really good run on the straight with our straight line speed setup. As Lewis Hamilton goes purple, we zoom past Sebastian Vettel's car. He was like a sitting duck there, so our engine improvements really proving to be useful. And our setup's looking pretty good now as well. And Jeff goes for a setup change, but I decide to keep it to stop on lap 5. He gets a really good move on us there, Vettel, on the same corner, and we managed to stick with him into that corner, into that chicane really, and we get him once again into the penultimate corner, but the penultimate straight of the race. And we're gonna have to try and so some information on Pierre Gasly there. We go deep there, just maybe to try and let someone through his Bottas there overtakes Vettel, and with them fighting they're gonna definitely lose time. But on lap 5 there we can see Vettel retakes the position and he goes down her inside. I did not expect that move. I was gonna make the corner normally, but then I saw him saw the red pointer, saw the pointer going red, and I thought, well, he's definitely gonna go down the inside then. But look how useful this stream is compared to his car. He might gain time in the corners, but on the straights it's our advantage. But Bottas there definitely gaining on us now, but I don't think he's gonna have a look or even overtake us. We might actually overtake him, Sebastian Vettel, but it's time for our stop. Going into the pits from P2, Bottas goes with us, and 2.4 seconds, pretty good stop, and we come in front of Bottas and in P12, but with a bunch of cars who hasn't made their stop yet. But lap 6 now, the next lap, well, the lap we made our pit stop, Bottas goes round our outside. Great move there from him, and oh, we had to brake there just not to smash into him. But going with overtake mode there, after saving huge amounts of ERS, we swoop past him. Easy job. And that is P12, and provisionally I think P3, because as we now go into P9 as some people make their stops. I'm losing my voice already into this race. Bottas goes for a move down the inside, we leave him the space, and he thinks otherwise to continue to move. So a lot of cars now going to the pits, and we are up into, we are in P4, so the undercut must have not worked, because Hamilton is now behind Vettel, who pitted, and Vettel is now in front of us. So Vettel clearly mastered the overcut, unlike real life, which they put him with horrible strategies, as we saw in Singapore. But Bottas there makes an easy move on us. We really did not have a chance there. But as we're now gonna go into lap 9, we might have a good run on him on the straight, as we do with most of the cars. And maybe with some ERS overtake mode we go there. Look how quick we are, 350 kilometers per hour as we brake now. Can we even stop the car? We go a little bit deep once again, but we make the corner there cleanly, and we're up into P3. So someone must have pitted, not sure who. Must have been Vettel, I think, or Raikkonen. because I believe it was a Ferrari who pitted. I did not see who it was, but it was definitely a Ferrari. But yeah, lap 13 now, the end of the race. Nothing happened from there really. Bottas kept increasing his gap in his very quick Mercedes. Perez actually gained on us, but didn't manage to get us by the end of the race. For Sebastian Vettel wins the race, unlike real life, who disappointed the Italian fans. But P4, what a result!
Okay, pick up brother and bring it home.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. Result for Valtteri Bottas, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I think I'm going to give it to Daniel Ricciardo. He's come through the field so well today, you know. Well deserved.
On to the constructors then. Mercedes have extended their lead at the top of the standings. Meanwhile, Toro Rosso's strong weekend allows them to continue their march up the table. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy. You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Do you think that your close rivalry has helped you out this season? Things were close between you and your rival, but it looks like you're coming up top, doesn't it? Do you have any comments about the collisions? Great! Well, that's everything.
So, Italian Grand Prix, what a race that was. I really enjoyed it. P4, what a result for our team. I think that's our second P4 of the season, which is going to increase our resource points by a huge amount. And we actually won the rivalry with Pierre Gasly, I think. So look at that huge reputation boost with the team, and a huge respect boost, and we are now more of a veteran than a rookie. But yeah, that was a really good race, and we're gonna use the couple of resource points we have for this upgrade on the car, a major upgrade, so it's going to be ready in the Russian Grand Prix, which is a very downforce track. So no, it's actually going to be ready in Japan. But still guys, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like, because we finished P4, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.